about Sarah.
My friends, welcome back to the Game Library, where we give a voice to the voiceless games. My name is Martin, and as ever, I would just like to start the stream off with the question of the day. The question of the day today is, do you think there is an objective golden era of video games, either in terms of industry or the games themselves? While you fill that out in the chat and let me know what you think, I'm gonna go over a little bit of stream news. Now, it has been the work week, basically, since the last stream. I'm gonna start off with saying that the stream today is going to be a little bit shorter. Work is basically expecting me to come in early we have a very finicky client with this construction job that I'm doing right now, so we are not allowed to make use of the elevators unless the client is not working. So I have to come in at like 5 in the morning to haul steel pipe up to the floor where we're working. So the stream is going to be an hour shorter today. I'm going to be ending at 9 Central Standard Time instead of 10 Central Standard Time. And the reason is basically I need sleep. But I'm thinking I will be able to start the stream a little bit earlier tomorrow, so I'm hoping for like a 5 p.m. start for the Friday Witcher stream instead of a 6 p.m. start. In other news, sorry, I'm dreading work tomorrow, so my brain is kind of fried. It is a little bit fried. I'm also a little bit disoriented because this is my first, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is my first stream in my new chair. So it is gently bullying me into proper posture, and I'm not used to it. Ooh, Dragon has some books packed away. Jodre, welcome in. Jerkops, welcome in. Monty, welcome in. Thank you all for saying hello. I don't see any answers to the question of the day yet. Ah, Banana, how are you doing today? I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with chat here. Posture, never met her. Okay, so this chair is very weird. Here, I'll sit this way. So, this chair has 2 cushions, basically, and one of them is the top cushion, and actually, I could technically be sitting a little bit more forward, but this is the posture that this chair holds me into, and it does have a pretty good recline. I don't mind the recline in this chair. So this is basically, you know, when I'm gaming and not streaming, this is how I would normally sit. Another thing is, like, I'm not sure if the height is something I like. So I've basically been incrementally changing the height of the chair just to see if I prefer it. It's a work in progress. It's a very good chair, though. With you playing the Wheel of Time on stream, I kind of got inspired, and I knew I owned a few of the books. I just didn't remember I owned all of them in a mixed set of pressings. So Wheel of Time is on the reading horizon. Ooh, nice. I have started, well, okay. I haven't started, but I've made some headway in the Blood of Elves. I've been reading the Witcher franchise as a result of playing The Witcher 1, and I just don't have a load of time to read. I'm making content, I'm streaming, I've got my day job, so reading isn't a mainstay in my schedule of things to do. But I really do enjoy it. I massively enjoy reading. So I've been making more of an effort a couple of hours before I go to sleep. Instead of, you know, scrolling on this damn thing, I will get out a Witcher book and I will start reading it. So I'm about a quarter, probably more like a third of the way through The Blood of Elves. And great. I'm very much enjoying the book. I have heard that, what's the book that my friend complained about? I think it is The Last Wish. She said that The Last Wish kind of meanders a little bit. So, part of me, I have a subconscious kind of introduction to that book, so it's a little bit... I'm not necessarily looking forward to that one, because I'm predicting that it'll be a little bit more meandering. Have you been okay, that's just... Sorry, you guys are talking to each other, so I don't have to, Oh yeah, Dragon Age is... The last... Yeah, but it's a book as well. Like, it's a book in the series as well. Oh, no, that's what you're saying. It's a collection of shorter stories that is... Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, meow. Yes, but not in a... Yeah. Blood of Elves and Baptism of Fire are kind of the meandering books. I've really been enjoying Blood of Elves. Now, I will say that the... See you later, Joe Dre. Font Crimes, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. The start of the book, it was a little bit strange because I didn't really know what was going on. So you had Ciri in this kind of dream sequence, and she was reliving the, what was it? I think it was the Siege of Sintra, I believe, and being attacked by one of the Black Knights of the Wild Hunt. And so that dream sequence happens, she wakes up with Geralt, and, you know, obviously she's seeking reassurance and everything, and then out of nowhere we're greeted by Dandelion, right? It's kind of, and there's no real, like, delineation to be like, okay, now we're here. It's a very, jarring writing, I would say. It's not like the works that I'm used to, where it's, say, like Dracula with journal entries, where everything is kind of neatly delineated. It's not like, I mean, like, any children's book, right? So, like, Harry Potter, for example, everything is delineated by chapter, and you've got, like, formatting in the paragraphs that kind of, like, delineate thoughts. But this was, like, dream sequence, speaking with Geralt, and now we're, like, in a camp with Dandelion, and there's nothing to be like, and now we're going here, and now we're going here. It's just boom, boom, boom. So that I can see why people would take issue with that. I can see why people would be like, that's... yeah. But the story's excellent. The story is very good, and I really like Sapkowski's, like, writing of the dynamics between, like, elves and dwarves and the races of men, and how they're, like, when antagonism happens, like, I'm talking about, you know, the sequence in the camp in the start of Blood of Elves. That sequence was really well done, because that's, frankly speaking, that's, like, how confrontation happens in real life, right? Someone has decided that they're offended, and now all of a sudden we all have a problem, right? It's, to me, that was incredibly accurate and incredibly telling, and I very much enjoyed it. The intention of Sapkowski was to read The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny first, both of these being in chronological story collections. The last story in the Sword of Destiny leads into the Blood of Elves. So, the set that I purchased, the order of the books, and I'm not going to go upstairs and grab it, but I'm going to have to look this up, because I will screw it up. So let me just pull this up. It was the set of books, it was a pressing that was used to promote the games and the TV show. So let's see, we've got Witcher books. Yeah, so, oh, this looks like... Yeah, so there was a couple of different box sets. So... There was, yeah, The Blood of Elves is the first book. Then it was... Then it was Time of Contempt. Then Baptism of Fire. Then Tower of the Swallow. Then Lady of the Lake. Then The Last Wish. Then The Sword of Destiny, and then Season of Storms. So that was the order that these novels I'm reading are numbered. So that's the order that I'm listening to the to the book. I saw one on the side of the book, and I'm like, okay, I'm reading that first. So the Netflix set, those, or for whatever holy reason, so The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny separate. Yeah. There's two box sets. So there's the Blood of Elves box set that was, and I gotta pull it up again because I closed my window already. Let's open. So, yeah. In that one, it is Blood of Elves, Time of Contempt, and Baptism of Fire. So, that's the order that I've been reading in, is Blood of Elves, Time of Contempt, Baptism of Fire, which I'm now hearing is blatantly incorrect, which honestly frustrates me. Because I was like, yay, I'm reading The Witcher, and now it's like, you're reading it wrong. You're missing a lot of great world building by having not read The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny first, but it is what it is. So, I'm curious why these box sets numbered things differently. Why was that? I'm very curious to know. So we're just reading through chat here. Yes, I have the, I think it's called the Pro 3. I can recommend 8-Bit Do. They are fantastic controllers. I got the one, I think it's the Pro, it's either the Pro 3 or the Pro 2, and it was the Xbox version. And I run it wired. I don't like running it wirelessly. I watched Return of the Jedi. Spoiler alert. Joke's on you, losers. The prequel series ruins it all. Actually, I don't agree with that. I think that knowing Anakin as Darth Vader actually makes the story that much stronger, but that's me. That's me. He becomes less of a villain in my eyes, I would say, because I feel sorry for him. Having, I watched Star Wars in the order that pretty much, everybody did, right? But some of my first theater experiences were the prequel trilogy. And I have to say that after finding out that Anakin was Darth Vader, and, I knew from the original trilogy, but having watched the prequels, it does actually hit harder in my mind. I don't know. Speaking of Star Wars, I tried an RTS on stream, Empire at War, just to see if I could do it, since not all games play the same for an audience. Empire at War is an excellent game. I adore Empire at War. My dad and I, we would just take turns on the old Dell computer that had Windows XP, and we would play all those games on it. We would just endlessly play Empire at War, and we had such a good time. Added to the list, run the campaign. I think it is on the list, actually. I'm gonna go check. I think it is, and if it is not, I will add it. So let's check rank 1. And this is one thing I was going to mention, and I guess I'll kind of mention it in passing now, but with the rank 1 page, it's not really getting the use that I was kind of hoping for. So the whole point of the rank 1 page was to really get a sense of what games you guys want to see, and having that be kind of like a reinforcement of the Wheel of Names selection process. I don't really see the rank 1 page getting a lot of use. So right now I'm trying to work out. The Wheel of Names has been voted on in the poll, and that is here to stay. Everybody thought that it was a neat way to select games, and we are also doing polled games. The way that this is going to work is that we're going to have 2 wheel spin games, and then the Saturday game, that's the community voted game. And that way, we can have a little bit of variety with the channel. I'm not just going to be playing, I'm going to be having a lot more first-time experiences as a result of this, is basically what's going to happen. The community polled games, they also advocate for me to have a lot of first-time experiences, but generally speaking, they have been games that I've at least had some form of interaction with in the past. Whereas the Wheel of, Dead Cells, that is a complete, new experience. If we end up doing, someone advocated, I'm just looking at the Wheel of, or the rank 1 page right now, someone voted for Sphinx and the Curse of the Mummy. I've never played that. Dredge, Battle Realms, Kohan, Prey, 2000. I played 2006, I have not played 2017. So, we're going to be having a lot more first-time playthrough type situations because of the random nature of the Wheel of Names, which personally I'm interested in experiencing a lot of these games. I have never really played Assassin's Creed, and someone advocated for Assassin's Creed Rogue, and there's a lot of different franchises that, frankly speaking, unless you put it in a wheel spin, I'm not gonna pick those games. I'm not. A game like Dredge, that is not a game that I would normally pick out of a lineup and be like, yeah, I'm gonna play that. Assassin's Creed, I've never really been like, yeah, you know what, I want to play that. But now with the channel, I have a reason to interact with these games. I have a reason to interact with this media. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my chair a little bit. I want to be a little more comfy. I don't have it quite dialed in. Dredge is quite new too. It has a cult following already. I took a look at the trailers for it, and it looks very interesting. It looks excellent. But again, not the style of game I would normally play. And I do not have Empire at War on the list. So I will add it. There we go. Star Wars, Empire at War. If you would like to see Empire at War, make sure to do !suggest in the chat and upvote it. If I see lots of this on a particular title, I'm gonna be like, okay, the community wants to see that, so let's play the damn game. Maybe let's do some Assassin's Creed 4 so we can talk shit about how the well, and see, this is the thing, right? As a channel focused on the history of video games and games preservation, I feel like I've been harping on remakes and remasters quite a bit. It's something that does mean a lot to me in terms of rhetoric and the direction that an industry is moving, that I personally... It's not that I disagree with it, it's that I worry about it. So, because I have concerns, and I want to kind of help maybe steer the ship a little bit, insofar as my content can do that, it's going to get focused on more. It just is. Personally, I see you as a page master, but for games. Coming out from the Lost History section with something I've never heard of, or seen, but fall in love with as soon as the pages are up. Well, and that's what I want to be. So, I've been having a very serious think about this, and the content creation is incredibly difficult. You have to love it. You have to love what you're doing. When you're making short-form content every week, when you're streaming for, in some cases, at least in the history of the channel, the majority of the week, you have to love it. And I had to look back and say, you know, what is my passion here? What is the reason that I enjoy going live? Because I've talked about the purpose of the channel. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about here. Purpose and conviction in the moment are sometimes different. They coincide, but they're not the same. And what started the channel, my purpose, came from games like Siege of Avalon. Came from games like this. Nobody knew about them, and I wanted them to. I wanted to share an experience. And what did I love about playing Morrowind? I love the Elder Scrolls, but more than I love the Elder Scrolls, I loved sharing my passion for that story. With Daggerfall, same thing, you know, like, these are first playthroughs of these games, but at the same time, they're also me sharing a very powerful experience that I am having. And in the moment, that is what I enjoy most. It's not necessarily, you know, what this game means historically. Like, that's going to come up. We're going to have conversations about that because, frankly speaking, I'm a nerd, and these conversations just happen. They just happen. And it's through those conversations that I kind of discovered my passion for games history and games preservation. You guys kind of helped me discover that. You helped inform something that I intuited, but never really had the time or wherewithal to flesh out in a meaningful way. So what I want to continue doing is I want to continue having that kind of experience. And that's where like the poll just recently came into play, right? Because what Necro just said is, you know, I am the curator of the game library. I'm the guy where you show up and you say, hey, I want to see something I've never seen before. Either from the past, the present, or, what have you. And I go in the back and I come out with a game like Siege of Avalon that you've never seen before, you never knew you wanted to see, but through the experience of the stream and through conversations and through seeing the content, you go, I have to play this. Like, it's not just I want to watch books play this, it's I loved watching books play this so much that I also would like to play this. And that has been the joy of the channel for me. That has been what I've felt most strongly about, I would say. And the fact that it is games history, the fact that it is games preservation as the purpose of my channel, that is coincidental, I would say. And the reason that I drive the games history and the games preservation kind of niche for the channel is because that is the niche that makes the most sense with the passion that I just highlighted for all of you guys, right? If that is what I enjoy most about the stream, then it makes sense that I want to share a history with you guys. I want to share I want to share an emphasis on the preservation of experience. I don't want these games to get, it's going to sound puritanical, but I don't want these games to change. I don't want these games to be revised, reimagined, and that sort of thing, which is back to a previous part of the conversation. It's why I'm railing so hard against remakes and remasters right now, and not necessarily against, they're a part of the history and the conversation too. We're going to look back on this time and we are going to say, why did we have so many remakes and remasters? That's going to be a conversation that people have, because it is something that has defined the era. It's defined the age that we are in. And not just within video games. It's happening in movies. It's happening with music. One of the easiest ways to be successful on YouTube as a musician these days is to be a cover band. You've got bands like Halocene, First to 11, 10-Second Songs. You've got Jared Dines. I'm a metalhead, so I'm gonna be citing kind of alternative, kind of hard rock, metal kind of bands. But these bands do nothing but play covers. They make original music, but... And this is I think this is the irony here. In order to be able to do their original music, they have to do thousands of covers. In order to have the financial security to make original music, they have to do thousands of covers. And I think this is what is happening in the games industry. I think that the cost of business has gone up so much, and the business model of video games has been, and I understand we pay an insane amount of money for our games. It feels, compared to our income, it feels like a lot. But the business itself, even though it grows, on paper, it's not doing great. The only way it's growing is by raising prices. And the way that these studios get the financial security to make an original experience is by doing covers. The way that Capcom has received enough grace to make a project like Resident Evil 8 or 9 is by doing a lot of remakes that are very, very well done. They're great games, but they are covers of the original game. Again, this theme seems to recur throughout media. It is not just in video games that we are experiencing this. It is, and I think this is, when people say we're sick of remakes and remasters, they're not just talking about video games. They're talking about everything. They're saying, I'm sick of cover music. I'm sick of a remake of an old movie. I'm sick of another remake of an old game that I love. Can we just leave that stuff alone and start being creative again? Because I'm not seeing that in the media that I consume day in and day out. This is why history of even something like video games is incredibly important, because it doesn't just inform on video games. It informs on culture. It informs on everything that we experience, and we can take what we talk about within the context of a video game, and we can expand upon that, just like I did. I think we struck a nerve. I mean, I'm a yapper. Like, I might not have the most structured thoughts all of the time, but yeah, like, you know what it is. You know who I am. I know who I am. And I need water to sustain who I am. Okay. Back to yapping so much I poured a drink. I needed a drink. Yapping so much I need a drink. So, okay, I've gone over the wheel spin stuff. I've gone over the rank 1 stuff. We've also done a vote on, and it looks like sequels are going to win. So after The Witcher is done, I had kind of a plan to play the sequels, to play The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3. So the way I'm going to run this is, after The Witcher 1 is complete, we're going to move on to The Witcher 2. After Baldur's Gate 1 is complete, we're going to move on to Baldur's Gate 2. But in order to avoid burnout, when we get to the 3rd game in each of those respective franchises, what I'm going to ask is that we have a conversation about it. Do I continue into The Witcher 3, or do we do some other games? Because The Witcher 3 is a lot. When I get to Baldur's Gate 3, do we take a break? Do we move on to something else? Because Baldur's Gate 3 is a lot. The Witcher 2 is a lot. The Witcher 2 is... I've played it before. It's the one game in the franchise that I have played. I own it on the Xbox 360, and I do plan on playing it on original hardware. I've been slowly working on my rig here to see how... see if I can actually do games that were designed for component video and everything like that justice through my capture card. And I think I can. So I'm willing, and I kind of want to play The Witcher 2 on original hardware. You figured it was the opposite? No. So every Witcher game is a lot. Right? Like, we play a lot of RPGs. So I think it's something... Okay. I think RPG fans kind of lose a sense of how expansive their games are. I think it's very difficult for one to recognize the length, the breadth, and the depth of their game. And like I play a lot of Elder Scrolls. These are very like World's Your Oyster kind of games, and it's the Witcher. Even when compared to games like these, it can be a lot. It can be. So even though The Witcher 2 is the shortest Witcher game, it is still an incredibly long game. Like, I could probably play it and like make it short, but there's still like a good chunk of stuff to do and a rather, extensive story and everything like that. Yeah, just 30 to 40 hours. That's all. Oh, there you go. PS4 control. Nice. So, have you played Resident Evil 4 at all? Like, I know that we were talking a bit on the Discord about it, Jodre, but I'm not sure if you've actually like played the game yet. Okay, with that said, I haven't seen any answers to the question of the day. It's pinned at the top of chat, guys. So, while you guys choose whether or not you would like to answer the question of the day, I'm just going to open up the game and we will move on to some gameplay. Did I miss a few? I didn't see them coming up. We were talking about the Witcher books. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any. I know I got mine out there, but I think you were in the... okay, so it got buried. Ranted, I mean, it might have been a rant. I do rant and I rave. Okay, there he is. Question of the day from Necro. PS1 and PS2 era, when the devs were able to go crazy with ideas. In the realm of PC, it would be around the Lego Island timeline as well, when creativity was peak. So, I think there's a couple of different approaches, at least as far as I'm concerned. So, I grew up in, like, the PS1 era, the PS1, N64, like that era was kind of ancillary to what I was experiencing. I grew up earnestly within, I think it's, Gen 5? The GameCube, the PS2, and the original Xbox. Those are, like, when I was little, those were the consoles, and then when I was a teenager, it was 360, PS3, and the Nintendo Wii. So, I think that a lot of the members of my generation would say 360, PS3, and Nintendo Wii. The Gen 6? 6? I don't know. Gen 6. I'm going with it. We're rolling with it. That generation of consoles. In terms of the games and the industry, because we had online, we had live experiences. We were able to play Call of Duty, we were able to play Halo Reach, and have these kind of competitive experiences that weren't oppressive. But we also had like great games coming out for PC and... Ooh, one sec. My chat is not updating. Lego Island is 1998, I think. And it was when Lego was just dipping its toes into games. Since the company didn't want video games to be made, Mindscape came out with its 3D world and was limited to a degree, but it was the bestseller right away. Lego Media Group then diversified, trying to find things that stuck with management sims, RTS, building, and playbox style games. That is a game, you know what? I think that would be a good game to showcase on the channel. That sounds like a good game to showcase on the channel. Question of the day from Dragon. I would say that gaming and actually enjoying what you paid for was at an all-time peak around the sort of early to mid 2000s with the beginning of the internet to supplement people with each other's thoughts and interests of whatever game someone was searching for. Teo, welcome in. I grew up around old gaming consoles like the PS2 Slim, the Wii, the GameCube, and the original Xbox. Same thing with old yeah, like I didn't have a console until much, much later. I grew up playing on PC. I grew up with pretty much exclusively Star Wars games. Lego Island is a bear to get running, but yeah. So I was looking into another game you suggested, which is Alice. The original Alice game, not Madness Returns, which came out for the 360 and the PS3. I was looking at the original Alice game for PC. It was a PC exclusive, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But it looks like it's abandonware. It looks like you can't get it anywhere. You can only get Madness Returns. So I've been looking into where to find it and how to get that running as well, because for kind of the spooky season, I want to basically, last Halloween, we didn't really go full send with the Halloween games, and I really want to dive in a lot more to, like, the horror game genre has so many obscure experiences. So I want to really dive into that. I really want to dive into that. You think you can? Absolutely, Necro. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mainly because my family, when I was younger, they would wait probably like 4 years or so after those consoles. Yeah, exactly. Like when they went on sale. When they went on sale. My mom was just really against video games, and she couldn't really stop my dad from playing them, which is what got me into video games. And my granddad, her dad, my papa, was also very into video games. So we ended up having a lot of experiences because he would get a lot of old PC parts and he would build PCs. They never performed like spectacularly well because they were always old parts, but he would always bring these old IBMs home, and we would play like these old flight sims like Red Baron on floppy disks, right? I would play flight sims, I would play submarine war sims, I would play early Sid Meier's games. Sid Meier, like, everybody knows Civilization, but Sid Meier's had so many different franchises under their scope at one point, and I was playing a lot of those games as a kid because it was the only thing these old PCs would run. But when it came to stuff like the N64, the Xbox, the GameCube, my parents were like, no, they're expensive. We don't have the money. We're not buying you that. Like, we have PCs because of work. We'll buy a video game for this because that's like, we already have the hardware, so might as well. But when it came to actually bringing in a new console, it was tough. But Jodre says, by the way, I can see why you liked Resident Evil 4. The graphics are fine, but I'm not complaining about the graphics because I play Ultra Kill, which is like a boomer FPS. I haven't adjusted to the third-person shooter, but I'm a gamer, so adapting should... Yeah, it is a very intuitive game. It's a very intuitive game. Resident Evil 4 is excellent. Yeah, those big sales were probably the reason they wait. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, the 360's out now, so we're giving away... And that's what would happen. They would basically halve the price of the original Xbox so that people would start, like, buying up the stock. It's like, we have too many of these things and the 360's out, so we gotta start moving the 360, so let's get rid of these. And then all of us were like, yes, give them to me, 50% off. And I remember going to GameStop, and all the 360 games were on the shelves, and right in the middle of the store they would, and they still do this, but right in the middle of the store they would have like a cage or like a table where like all the old games were kind of just dumped in. They would essentially have all of the all of the cases for these games, and they're just in there. Just all, like, kind of organized, but honestly kind of not. Because everybody was not putting stuff back. So they all ended up being some kind of, like, hodgepodge pile of games. And I remember just going straight to that. And that's where I would look for my games, because I didn't have the newest and greatest thing. So I would just go, okay, what is there for Xbox? What is there for GameCube? What is there for PS2? I didn't advance in the game because when I tried it, I had a bad time since I was biased to the controller. Being a PlayStation 2 game, but I just have a controller now, so my pain... yeah. Having a new controller, yeah, that very much helps. I would say, actually, I would argue that for Resident Evil, and it was designed to run on the PS2 as well, it was, but I would argue, and I'm just, like, I just prefer the feel of this controller when it comes to, like, shooters and stuff like that. I prefer the Xbox vibes, but my favorite controller of all time... Oh, ever since I've got it. My favorite controller of all time is this. This is my favorite controller of all time. I absolutely, like, this just fits so nicely in the hand, and it just, like, it feels like it was meant for me. Like, it just, I don't know. I love this controller. I love this controller. So Alice is under Origin control, however it's abandonware. I found a page for download and sent you a link. It does have an HD text. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Yes, I have a CRT TV. Yeah, no, absolutely, Joe Dre. Yeah, like, beggars can't be choosers. Absolutely. And for Metroidvania, I don't use my Xbox. I use this. Because for a Metroidvania, I like controlling with the D-pad. I don't like controlling with the analog stick. So when I'm playing Dead Cells, I'm controlling via the D-pad. And actually, speaking of which, we have been chatting for a while. Oh, and of course the game is not showing. Come on. You did it last time. There it is. And how would you know? I use my CRT TV for my PS2 Slim. Yeah, this is an old, it's an old Syntec. It's not what people recommend. When people talk about what CRT TV to run specifically for retro rigs, I think it's the Sony Trinitron that people are told to buy, which is why it's the most expensive. RCA TVs are really good as well. Panasonic TVs are really good as well. I'm a Canadian, so Zenith is a name that comes up a lot with CRT TVs as well. That was one of the more popular brands. I'm thinking of playing RE1, 4 Remake, 5, 7, and 8. Probably gonna play 0, 6, and 9. Yeah, like, as it comes, I just think 4 is the best. It is my favorite, the original iteration of 4. Sony Trinitron, yeah, those are like the best of the best here. Yeah, because they had composite video, but they also had component video. And if you're wondering what the difference is, composite video is the yellow, red, and white inputs. Component video it was blue, green, red, white, and there's one more. But essentially, there were more video inputs, so the video was just of higher quality. I'm replaying 4 again now since I've been playing Resident Evil 5 with Addy the last one. Ooh, awesome. Yes. And now I'm getting you. Well, this is the thing people don't really realize about 4 and 5, is technically speaking, they are tank controls. It's just you have a locked camera. So it doesn't matter. The only thing that made tank controls hard in the original Resident Evil games was the fixed camera angles. That changed as you moved around the room. Whereas in Resident Evil 4, camera's just behind you, so the tank controls, they weren't really an issue. But technically speaking, they are tank controls. Oh no, my audio's being a poo. Oh, god dang it. Windows, you did it to me again. How's the audio sound for you guys? Is it clean? Because for me, I've got distortion. I've got distortion in my audio right now. Okay, it sounds fine to you guys? Okay, so it's just me. I'll live with it. I will live with it, and hopefully it stops being crappy. Audio sounds good? Okay. Okay, we will live with it then. Okay, so I'm just starting where we were last time round. So let's just get acclimated to where we are in the map. Okay. I wonder if Dead Cells actually is an indie game. So I was talking to my buddy RetroSci. Of course I get poisoned like immediately. I was talking to my buddy RetroSci. And... Ooh, okay. And he was saying that a lot of games that are considered indie, it's... So independent studios basically, it is not through a publisher. Like, it was independently developed, kind of thing. But that doesn't mean it wasn't, like, funded. A lot of people think that indie is, like, free of, like, monetary support kind of thing. Sounds like a grown-ass man who doesn't play that. Welcome back, Monty. Welcome back. Let's hop down here. I also asked you where Albert Wesker mainly appears in the Resident Evil games, but I deleted it since a person... Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Wesker was the villain for Resident Evil 1. Technically every Resident Evil game, if we're being honest. But he was the villain for the majority of the Resident Evil franchise until 5. So we're gonna up our gold reserves. Repost in case you... Ah, okay, perfect. For me, it's the Xbox 360 and PS3 era of gaming. So many great games and stories. Halo 3, old Call of Duty, Skyrim, Oblivion, Gears of War, Uncharted, God of War, and so many more. I'm gonna completely derail this. Can you tell me the story of Dead Cells, as I have no clue what's going on in this game? Okay, so... For Dead Cells gives you its story very similarly to Dark Souls. So it's enigmatic and it comes in chunks. So each character, so this is the Collector. When you kill enemies, you receive cells, DNA, from your enemies. And the Collector then uses that DNA to give you upgrades. You're essentially undead, and you are somehow conscious. We don't know how yet. And you are the only person in this universe that is collecting these cells. But everything is about gene stealing kind of thing. So if you're into Warhammer, like the Tyranids, the gene stealers type deal, that is kind of like the raison d'etre of these individuals. And no story spoilers, by the way. This is my experience of the story thus far. I do not... I allow backseating for mechanics, but I want to experience the story myself. Myself. I want to experience the story myself. Myself. God, I need sleep. I'm going to be absolutely fried tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic stream. So we are currently traversing an island that there's a it's a ruined civilization essentially, and there's all these gene stealers. It's all these enemies that have gone mad and are trying to like kill each other essentially, and the final boss, I believe, is going to be the king of this ruined civilization, very much like Dark Souls, like Gwyn. But as of right now, the NPCs that we have met, they are all either undead or they are individuals who are not yet undead, but they're trying to survive this circumstance. I could sum up the story without spoiling if you... Okay, if you are not spoiling, go ahead. If you are not spoiling, go ahead. I wish Dead Cells has... I don't think a Metroidvania benefits from multiplayer, personally. Alrighty. Recover 0.3 of your max health after killing an enemy. This affects scales with victims' max health and reduced as you get close to full health. Alright, we're gonna survive a little. I do like necromancy as a skill. Alright. Let's head over to the ramparts. Now, we're doing a brutality build for the most part right now. And we do have some more bonuses so we can get more of the area. Dead Cells follows a lone, amnesiac prisoner trying to escape a ruined island that has been devastated by a strange plague and overrun by monsters. As you fight your way through the island, the story slowly reveals a fallen kingdom, a desperate search for a cure, and a mysterious connection between the prisoner and the island and its rulers. That is not a spoiler, in my mind. Woo! And I will say, I'm kind of like Necro. So, last stream, Necro kind of mentioned these were not his kind of game. And this is something that I actually kind of... I parrot this opinion. I do not seek out Metroidvanias. I do not normally play these games. Ooh, God. No, we're gonna stick with freezing. For that reason. Well, and this is kind of, if I'm being completely honest, that's kind of why I'm playing this. Because Metroidvanias are not normally my thing, and I want to be the one who gets out of his comfort zone. You know, I want to be the games channel that doesn't necessarily always play what I'm absolutely adamant on. You know, I want to have new experiences. I want to show you guys that I want to put my money where my mouth is, essentially. And I want to show you guys that I'm willing to experience games that aren't necessarily my thing. And honestly, Dead Cells is fantastic. I'm very much enjoying this game. Very much enjoying this game. Even though it's not normally a genre that I would interact with. That's all good, Jodre. Big fan of Risk of Rain 2. It got me into Dead Cells. Okay, that one got recommended as well. Yeah, that one got recommended on, You idiot! Yes, and Dead Cells is also a roguelite. Actually, this has been explained to me before, but because I don't normally play these kinds of games, the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite isn't always self-evident to me. Sorry, just making sure I'm not missing chat. Okay, so let's stick with... Oh, God. We're gonna update tactics. Because I do have some tactics stuff. And my... Whoa! Whoa! The challenge of this is... Oh. Okay. I'm not good at games like this, so this has actually been very challenging for me. But I feel like I'm getting better. God, this audio distortion is not it, chat. I have so much distortion in my ear right now, it's actually kind of crappy. I don't know what it is either, like it's not my interface. I thought at first it might be my Focusrite, but... Well, I want to see if it just straightens itself out. I don't want to have to restart the stream if I don't have to. Oop, got a scroll of power down here. Okay, now we gotta drop down here. There we go. We want to enjoy this game as much as you do. Is it the stream or is it the game that's just... It's the game. It is the game. Yeah, no, it's the game. Let's do a point in brutality. Okay, we get a point in brutality. Alright, nice. Let's do... You know what? We're going to up my HP. I'm gonna do 1 point in survival. Whoop! That's the one thing. Tactics weapons have way more range, and this sword does not, which has kind of not been ideal. It's not bad, it's just like a very minor nuisance distortion in the background of the game. It's there, but it's not terrible. 40% HP, 18% HP. We're gonna do another point into tactics. Ooh, nice. Got some gold. Okay, that's going to be... Ooh, nice. Got him. Got him. Get as many of these scrolls of power as we can. Okay. Since I'm currently rocking a brutality weapon, we're going to continue to roll with brutality as much as I can. Nice. That is honestly a sweet combo. That's the sweetest thing about this game for me, is like no one playthrough is the same. You're having to master so many different combinations of weapons, and you get to the point where I don't know how many of you guys like Hades as well. Like, if you like Dead Cells, or if you play games like Dead Cells, you likely have interacted with Hades a little bit, and it was the same thing with that game for me. And Hades was one of my favorite games the year it came out. Actually, I think, was it 2020? I think 2020 is when Hades came out. Okay. Let's just down. Also, the movement is really hard to master in this game, too. Oh. No, I do not want Face Flask. I keep the slicer. Welcome in, Conan. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you've had a fantastic week. All right, there's the Black Bridge.
Shiny thing.
Can't get down to that. Oh no! I don't know why Twitch does that. I do not know why Twitch does that. This is one thing I'm not beating. Like, I'm not getting enough kills, and I'm not... Like, I'm not getting a high enough score, I guess. The backpack is gonna be huge. Ooh, what is this? We're gonna rock Vengeance. Vengeance! Alright. Give a little heal. Back to the Black Bridge. First boss. Well, I'm trying to remember now. Yes, first boss. Yep. The Concierge! I wonder if this will work. Yes! Yeah, baby! Okay, hi. Howdy! Oh, ho, ho, ho. He resists. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, baby. Yes. Another sinew slicer. There we go. Whoop. I gotta start using items more. I really do. Oh, oh, oh boy. Okay, hi. Eternal, welcome in. Oh god, hi Raiders. Oh, are they gonna give me good luck? Okay, hi. Victory is ours. We have achieved victory. Right, let me just pick up these items so I'm not missing. Electric whip. Yes.
How can you kill a god? Shame on you, sweet Zarabar.
You know what, we'll want this.
I'm a god.
I'm a god. Raiders, welcome to the room.
Is this how you honor the 6th house and the tribe
Eternal,
unmourned?
thank you so much for the resub. Thank you so much for bringing your peeps here. Raiders, welcome to the game library, where we give a voice to the voiceless games. My name is Martin. I'm a streamer that focuses on games history and the preservation of that history through experience. Today we're playing some Dead Cells. It's a newer game on the channel, and it's a member of a genre that I'm not normally accustomed to playing. I don't play a lot of Metroidvanias, but I'm having a lot of fun with this game. So, I haven't even had a Verners. Games history, and Verners. Hope you're having a lovely time with Dead Cells. It's a very good game. It's a very good game. It's just a genre that I don't spend a lot of time with at all. I will say my computer is being a bit of a poo, and I've got a bit of distortion in the game audio right now, but it's not enough to ruin my enjoyment of the game. So I'm just rolling with it, and we're going to deal with it for the duration of the stream. But enough about me. How the hell has Assassin's Creed 2 been? It looks like you're having a blast with it. Now, I know that you've played a lot of Assassin's... Well, maybe not a lot, but you've played Assassin's Creed. You've definitely enjoyed Assassin's Creed. What's prompted the resurgence of this playthrough? And by the way, question of the day at the top of chat for you and the Raiders. You inspired the question of the day today, which is there an objective golden era of games? And if there is, what is it? I picked it up recently on sale, but haven't played it. If you like Hades, which I know you do, you're going to like Dead Cells. You refuse to help him do the Feathers quest? I don't even know what that is. I have never, and honestly, I'm going to have to play one at some point, but I've never played an Assassin's Creed game. I've never once even pressed the A button in an Assassin's Creed game. Never once. I've watched people play Assassin's Creed. I've watched Eternal play Assassin's Creed 2. I've watched my brother play through Assassin's Creed 1. I've just never played one. I never saw those games and were like, yes, I must experience this for myself. It's been really, really fun. We're getting towards the end of the game, in the story, and I've been enjoying. So, one thing. So I'm watching you go. Sorry, punch my controller. I've been watching you play through the game, and endgame in Assassin's Creed 2. It looked very similar to what I was experiencing with endgame in Arkham City. I really like Rocksteady games. I loved the Arkham games. Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, all fantastic. 10 out of 10 games. Best Batman games ever made. I will die on that hill. But endgame, before you finish the story, or even after you finish the story, it's really just collectibles. It's just like going around and getting a bunch of collectibles. I adore some of the Assassin's Creed games. In Assassin's Creed 2, optional quest is to find 100 feathers. It's hard as... Okay, so it's like the Riddler quest in Batman. I can't remember what prompted heading back to the Assassin's Creed series again, to be honest. I think I just saw a couple people play it, and we spoke about it in chat, and I got nostalgic for Ezio's stories. So, you know, you and I, and this is where Eternal and I became fast friends, because Eternal might not acknowledge it, but Eternal is a games preservationist. I will assert that you are, and Eternal is also a lover of games history. And he like me, he shares that history through experience, because the experience of art it's so subjective, but it's beautiful because it's shared. Right? Like, if I made a painting and I just kept it in my living room, like, it might be the best painting ever made. But nobody gets to experience that, and nobody gets to know what others think of that experience as well. Sharing art with each other is probably the best part of art, second only to actually, like, looking at the damn thing. I actually have more fun talking about video games half the time than I do actually playing them. I love just having a natter about the video games that I play. I absolutely love it. I am a preservationist. Where's the damn t-shirt? Okay. I do need to make some new merch designs. I'm just waiting until there's enough money from the channel to do that. So actually, I'm gonna write that down. Because I should totally do that. I don't know of anyone who has any sort of t-shirt.
Welcome, star. Come to me through fire and
Bogu!
war.
Yachties, welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're not playing Baldur's Gate right now. We're not playing Baldur's Gate right now with you.
not too late for my mercy.
I'm gonna ride out the Dagoth wave and actually proceed to the next level. And then after the Dagoth wave is over, I will give you guys a proper
How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating.
But first we're going to turn in our settings.
I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Shame on you,
We're gonna upgrade that because the electric whip is fantastic.
I'm a god. I'm a god.
This is the second raid of the stream. Raiders, welcome to the game library where we give a voice to the voiceless games. My name is Martin. I have a channel that is emphatic on games, history, and the preservation of that history through experience. Today we're playing some Dead Cells. It's a new game for the channel and a genre that I never play. Not in my personal time, not at all. I don't dislike Metroidvanias, I just don't jive with them 100% of the time. So, we did a wheel spin, which is completely random, and it's all on games voted for by the community, and Dead Cells came up. The Metroidvania genre came up, and then we selected for Dead Cells. So I'm playing the game, and I must say it is addictive. It is. I have a problem with roguelites. Roguelites are a problem for me. You do have a recommendation for you as well. Might and Magic 7. I think I'd die if you played that. Yeah. The Might and Magic series is one. I played not a ton of 3, but I really liked playing 3. It's technically a part of the series, but Dark Messiah as well. One of the, I think it's, was it Unity Engine? I think it's Unity Engine. But anyways, the physics of that game, chef's kiss, absolutely fantastic. But Boku, what were you playing? What were you up to today? Here, I gotta pause my game so I can get my mouse back. Playing some Gothic, how are you finding it? Now, I'm sure that you've played it many times, as you seem to do with all of the games that you play on stream. But how's this experience going? What is the challenge? Because you normally do challenge runs, if I'm not mistaken. Second fave game ever. So, okay. I want a tier list, Bogu. I want a tier list. So, Diablo, I'm assuming, is number 1. Gothic 2 is your second favorite game of all time. Where's Baldur's Gate on the totem pole? Oh, okay, so it's... Okay, so you restart the game every death. That is... I just don't derive any enjoyment from challenge runs. I might enjoy a challenge run in a game like Dead Cells, because I think that I would actually, feel like I could achieve it, but in a game like Gothic, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm actually good at video games, so it would, I'm all about the experience. I'm a lore and immersion guy, so I would go to Gothic for the story, and actually, that's why I'm enjoying Dead Cells as well. The story is actually enigmatic, like Dark Souls, and I'm quite enjoying that. It's actually, I'm not surprised it's a Blizzard game, but I am surprised it's not Diablo. Diablo is the first game that got you in love with video games, if I recall correctly from conversation. I have a very different top 5, I would say. So, in my top 3 games of all time, I've thought about this quite a bit, actually. Top 3 games for me, Fable, The Lost Chapters, Resident Evil 4, 2005, and probably, depending on what mood I'm in, it's going to switch between The Elder Scrolls 4 or The Elder Scrolls 3 for the 3rd spot. Favorite game and best game should be fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, the game that got me to, well, I actually made a video on this recently on some of my socials, and the games that started it all for me were actually Star Wars video games. I had no consoles growing up. My dad was a PC gamer, and I grew up playing Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, Mysteries of the Sith, Empire at War, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, all this sort of stuff. I don't know if books would survive Gothic. We will find out, because it is on the list, and I will eventually play the game. I will eventually play a game. But we'll see, because I'm not good at games. Gothic 1 isn't bad, Gothic 2 is pretty brutal. Though I'd love to see it, as well as, yes, Risen, Pathologic, and where, there was another, what was, okay, so there was Risen, there was Gothic, and there's one more. I think it was almost like, it was like a third-person shooter, if I'm not mistaken, right? Elix. Elix, okay. Yeah. Gameplay-wise, Gothic 2 is a much better experience. Yeah, and as much as I can, I do like to do original hardware. Twitch be pissing you off? Twitch be twitching. Twitch be twitching. Welcome in, Neil. It kind of amazes me you guys could so easily rank a game #1. So, it's not... The love of video games is completely subjective. There is no objective best game ever made. It's all what is good for you. And for me, I've played a lot of Fable. And I cannot say that it is not a #1 game for me. It is such a... And this is totally nostalgia. It's totally nostalgia. But booting up Fable, especially, like, I've got a CRT rig right here, and I have an original Xbox, and I play Fable on original hardware. I do have the Anniversary Edition, I've played it on stream, but I play on original hardware as much as I can, and sorry, I can see your messages? What do you mean, Necro? Oh, sorry, Necro, Neil and I do know each other, and I'm helping him get a start on his channel. Yeah, no, like, he might actually intend this to be in chat. I know Neil. I've known him since high school. I've known him a very long time. Beer Sip, welcome in. I was blown away by Enderal, which is built on top of Skyrim and a scale and story for some small indie studio. Yes, I have seen that game. You know, some people get turned off by the fact it's, I believe that is in the Skyrim engine, if I'm not mistaken, and uses assets from the game, but it's a different story. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there's actually a lot of games that do that, a surprising number of games that do that. There are so many good games, I struggle. Yeah, so I think nostalgia really, really helps. Right? It's like, it's not necessarily Fable is objectively the best game I've ever played, but it is a game that I've spent so much time with that I just, like, it's home, you know? Like, it's not necessarily because it is a game that is fantastic to everybody who plays it. I think, you know, there's people who don't like Fable, but for me, it's just like sitting by a fire and opening a good book. Like, it just feels good. For me, it was simple. It was the game that blew me away. Story, characters, music. Right, the combat is made a bit better, but still pretty much Skyrim. However, the skill system is revamped very nicely. Yeah, I've got to play some of these games, because, again, my channel focuses on games history, and one thing that I've been having a lot of conversations on my social... Beer Sip, thank you very much. I've been having a lot of conversations on, like, my Instagram posts in the comment section and stuff, because I talk about revisionism a lot. I don't necessarily negatively rail on remakes and remasters. They're a product of their time, but they are revisionist. They are reimaginings. And a lot of these mods are also that, but games like Enderal aren't. And I think that is really cool. And I want to play around with that. I want to experience that a little bit more. I want to see things from a different vantage point. And The one thing I worry about is, is the fact that it is in the Skyrim engine going to affect my experience? Am I just going to be like, yeah, this is Skyrim, Am I going to write the game off? Because that is a fear that I have. It's like, I don't want to write the game off. Praetor says, for sure, I'm not trying to suggest that there is an objective number one game, but to have a game that in your mind rises above the rest so clearly, I just don't have that one single game. There are so many contenders for rank 1. Yeah, and like I said, for like my number 3, it's very much, it bounces back and forth. It's all over the place. Like, sometimes my number 3 spot's Oblivion, sometimes it's Morrowind, sometimes it's Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, like, it's, in a way, it's ephemeral, but for some reason, Fable, for me, it always sits in that top spot. Library, welcome in, I hope you're having a good day. Speaking of reimagining, how many times can you remake a game? I can't believe they're remaking the first Tomb Raider again. What's interesting to me, actually, Audiobell PT's in chat right now, and we were actually just talking about this, which is, remakes of remakes is kind of insane. It seems that a lot of developers think that the time limit with which they can, like, do the remake treatment is about 10 years. Now, I don't think the first Tomb Raider has ever been remade. It is, the franchise got rebooted with a more Uncharted style gameplay loop. And now, the original, I would call the more original, authentic Tomb Raider gameplay loop is being brought into like a modern kind of engineering structure of a game. And that's going to be interesting. I'm actually going to see, I'm actually interested, pardon me, I'm misspeaking. I'm actually interested to see how that goes. Anniversary was a remake, true. Tomb Raider 1 was remade with controls and a few tweaks, in Tomb Raider and, yeah. Is it a remake, remaster, or reimagine? Well, it's kind of like, I lump it all under revisionism, right? Because ultimately, does a game ever, like, need to be remade? One could argue, no. One could argue you could continue a franchise, you don't have to go to a specific entry and remake that. Halo Campaign Evolved. I love Halo, so it's a good example for me. So, does that game need a remake? I was just playing Halo Combat Evolved on my original Xbox. That game does not need a remake. It plays fantastically. It feels incredible to this day. It is absolutely amazing. Why is it being remade? You know, like, a lot of people just like, oh, it's the corporate greed, it's the corporate greed. I think that 343 or Halo Studios or whatever you call them, I'm a yapper, Library. I'm a yapper. This is a stream about games history and games preservation. These conversations are what it is all about for me. And we just got a raid, so being in the chatting screen is not an issue. Exactly. Necro knows. He has been watching my streams and going, just finish the fucking game. But these games don't need remakes. They don't need remasters. It's okay for a thing to be a product of its time, and I would much rather see a port. I would much rather see old games brought onto modern hardware and, like, just get them running. Just get them running. That's all I want. But what we're seeing is like, oh, no, we can't make, no. But for Halo Studios, I think it goes deeper than that. I think it is that they've never been able to capture the essence of what Halo is because they're not Bungie. Like, they don't get it. They literally don't know how to make a Halo game. Sir, that is what I feel. They do not know how to make Halo. And they're going back to the first game in the series and they're remaking it so that they can try to attain that energy. And I kind of hate this idea. I saw this other creator and he's like, you know, if you want more Halo, you're gonna have to support this. I kind of don't like that. Kind of feels like you're holding a franchise I love hostage at that point. Like, from a business standpoint, I understand that. Like, I'm not stupid, I get it. But I'm honestly kind of at the point where I'm okay with Halo just being shelved for a little bit. Like, I'm genuinely okay with that. We had a lot of good games. And this kind of gets into a conversation of franchise and like, when is it okay to end? When is it okay to just be like, you've told a good story and we can just leave that good story alone? People said the same thing about Star Trek. Like, or slop, or we stop. Well, like, this is the thing, right? I made a video on this, Brit. Slop has always existed. We've always had shovelware. We've always had this inclination, like, what we are doing right now is not new. It's just being done in a slightly different way due to kind of the facility of the modern games industry. But this is happening in all media. This is happening in movies, music, video games. It's happening everywhere. And I think that's why I talk about it so much, because it really is definitive of the time we live in, which, like, we have to talk about this stuff. We have to.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Library, thank you very much for the follow, and welcome to the game, Library. I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's get back into the game, because people are going to be frustrated that I'm not continuing Dead Cells. Alright, so we have upgraded some equipment. I'm gonna use some of these cells here. I think corporate greed destroyed passion. People stopped taking risks and started doing what was commercially successful. I think that the inclination that you're speaking to, that has always existed, right? The business of video games has always been present. Thank you for the Dagoth Wave. Chat, you know what to do. The Dagoth Wave plays. We dance. This is a gaming channel. Yes, I do game like 10% of the time. Every now and again, you can stop me from gaming and get me chatting. Just every now and again. What is up here?
I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What grand and intoxicating it is. I'm a god.
Which one is DLC,
How
guys?
can you kill a god? Shame on you.
Which one is DLC here? It's probably always existed, but I don't think it existed. Yes.
I'm a god.
That I would agree with, Praetor. So, because economy has upscaled to the extent that it has, economy has gotten so, well, large, because it at least for the better part of our parents' lifetime, I'm 30, the better part of our parents' lifetime, and I would say my lifetime, it is, it's been, oh, hello. I don't want to die. Oh, make it stop. Oh, ooh. Piece of candy. So, let's up tactics here. But the economies have grown. And as a result of that, you need to make more and more money. I've talked about this before, where it's like, it's not about whether you profited or not. It's about whether or not you hit a metric, right? Projections. And because you haven't hit a projection, then you haven't profited enough, kind of thing. And I think that's where gaming has kind of gone awry. Remakes are tricky. If you change too much, OG fans will be angry. If you don't change enough, people will feel the purchase isn't worth it. Ooh, okay, we've got 60% damage for bleeding in a target, plus 15% damage. No, what I have synergizes. That synergizes way, way more. And the idea that you can't have a remake that has a place in the industry, I don't think that's true either. I think that we can enjoy a remake as a part of the conversation. Right? Like Resident Evil 4 Remake, nobody can take away the fact that that game is objectively really, really fun. And it did actually improve upon a lot of the ideas present within the original Resident Evil 4. But the question isn't, is it a good game? The question is it a game that needed to be? Did the original Resident Evil 4 need revision? Did it need a remake? And that is a tenuous conversation. That is a conversation that we can certainly have. It's important. But I think what's more important is why we want them. Like, why are we so captivated by revisionism? Because, let's be fair, they make it because we buy it. They don't make it because they have to, kind of, like, they're making it because it is a product that sells to people. And there's a reason it sells, and I think it's because we have a large number of people that they want to relive an experience. They want a first-time experience for the second time. They want to experience Resident Evil 4 for the second time again. And I think fundamentally that is what it comes down to. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong, but that's what I think. There's been some demand before a project worth of millions or tens of millions of dollars is funded, but gamers act like nobody asked for a remake. Well, and here's the thing. I can't even say that I'm like, oh, I do not want remakes. I do not want remake. Like, we had a conversation about The Witcher 1, which is a game that I'm enjoying a lot right now. The original experience. And I do not have the village key. That sucks. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And we got to talking about if or when The Witcher 1 gets remade, you know, what we would enjoy. And we also got talking about what within the Witcher universe is a game that we would enjoy that isn't a remake. You know, like, if you're not gonna do a remake, like, what would you do? And we kind of talked about, you know, go back to the quote-unquote golden era of the Witchers and give us a universe where... Ow. Give us a universe in which... Got him. Oh dear. There we go. But we're all kind of tempted by these ideas. Dark Souls 2 changed the formula and built a world, in all opinions. I have yet to hear a valid point as to why Dark Souls 2 shouldn't exist. Well, see, I think that you do enter a situation of diminishing returns when you talk about whether or not, like, it does exist. So, like, at some point it's like, okay, what are we talking about here? Because it's real, like it happened. So like, and I understand both sides of that equation. There we go. Synergy! No, I still think not. Dark Souls 2 is a fine game. I agree. I think it is, though. So, yeah, like, we can think all these things. I think that the conversation that I am interested in when a game comes out, as someone who is more oriented towards historical kind of ideas, it's not so much whether or not something should exist, it is why does it exist? Why was this made the way it was? You know, what did this add to a conversation? And I think through examination of stuff like that, we can come to not only like deeper understanding of video games, which is a fine thing in and of itself, but we can also come to a deeper understanding of kind of, well, honestly, the human experience. You know, why is it that we do what we do to the art that we consume? And what is it about video games in particular that captivate us so? Oh, of course he gets one shot off every time. 60% of the time. Oh my god. Bruh. Might have to come up top. Yeah, there we go. Oh, shit. Ah! Okay. Don't die, please. Despite thinking Dark Souls 2 is the weakest in the series, Emerald Herald is indeed best waifu. At least we can all agree on that. Who is best waifu? Is that better, though? Nope. I would argue not. I am dreading the first Souls game that I play on stream. And it is on the list. Jet Black Sheep has long been advocating for me to actually beat Dark Souls. I've never beaten a Souls game. Alchemy equipment. It's top-notch equipment. Dark Souls 2 nearly ruined all Souls games for me. It wasn't until I played Dark Souls 1 that it all clicked for me. Dark Souls 1 is my favorite. I've never played the entirety of a Souls game. Ooh, big old radish. Pile of letters, damaged by damp conditions. Illegible. Ooh. We have here a greed shield. Nah. Not sure I want any of that. Well, and this is kind of an idea that we talked about in a previous Dead Cells stream, is the idea that old games expect you to fail and that new games don't. And I think that the prevalence of Soulsborns, they evidence that is not the case. The fact that these games have captured the public imagination to the extent that they have, I think is indicative of the fact that we like failure. We do like to fail and grow from that experience. Oh, you're playing some Dead Cells, Joestar? Whoa. Okay, we're starting to deal some serious damage now. It's hard to pin down what exactly makes Dark Souls 2 so unenjoyable for me, but I think a big part of it is how it controls. Movement feels awkward, and you run out of stamina so fast that combat is dragged out. Ah, Bogu, you've made the streamer a mistake. You've shared your personal thoughts and feelings on things. Never do that. Never be a person. Okay, we have a key that we can grab. I also have to remember, I don't have to get so damn close. Okay, so where was the one that I couldn't access? I think it was the treasure up there. I'm just gonna move on, though. I would like to see if I can... Ooh, nice. Some cheese. Cheese for everyone! Your secret is safe with me. Oh, God! It's got many legs. Oh, I hate spiders. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? I don't know what just happened, but I don't think I like any of it. Ooh, extra jump midair. Damage from projectiles is reduced. I'm gonna stick with tactics. Sinew slicer +1. What's that? Wait a second. It's like... Is that the thing from Carrion? I like my sinew slide. Okay, fine. We're gonna roll with it. It was meant to be. We're gonna roll with it. I don't know what that is. Okay, so we've got the village key that we're gonna use. It was a giant worm parasite thing. I thought that's what Carrion was. Alright, let's... Ooh, we can almost afford the backpack. Do not break the door. Well, it sounds like I need to break the door. Ooh, So what? Leg Hugger 4L. Summon a leg hugger that attacks your enemies, inflicting critical hits on bleeding targets. Reactivate to make it attack in a circle around itself, making enemies hit bleed. The creature feeds by attacking your enemies. Once sated, it evolves into its stronger adult state. I'm pretty sure this is the thing from Carrion. There's a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic in my chat right now. Thanks, Braydor. I should call her. Okay, we'll upgrade the wolf trap. Okay, I've maxed out mutations. I'll be lurking while drawing. I'm making no progress right now and want to get stuff done. I'll be watching... Yeah, no, all good. All good, Necro. No AI in this chat, please. if you're gonna use anything that's remotely AI, please just use a regular TTS. Okay. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where things get hellacious. Okay, I gotta make a lot of use of these grenades. Whoa! Do not. Oh! Oh shit! There's little ones! Of course I get a hit. Whoop! Okay, I gotta remember. Ice grenade synergizes. Ooh, gotta pop that. Keep going up. Oh, I have a sneaking suspicion I'm gonna die. Oh no! Oh! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh! Oh! Oh god! Oh boy, that was no fun. That was no fun. You guys suck. I want to ramble about Resident Evil 4. I'm having a good time with RE4, kind of adjusting to the game's mechanics, but I hate how I can't move while using the knife. You have the exact same complaint that literally everybody who ever played Resident Evil 4 had, and that is why the game got remade. Woo! Spicy! You. Someone's 2 instead of 1. Bleeding cause poisoning. That seems better. Yeah, that seems like an upgrade. Yeah, this is just a part of the very nature of the game, children. And actually, I think it makes the game better. The reason for me saying that is because when you cannot move, you have to be strategic. You have to be very deliberate about your actions within a game like Resident Evil 4. So it's, where do you stand your ground? Why are you standing your ground there? What weapons have ammo? All of these things inform what you do. And it raises the suspense. Oh, not my favorite. Gotta heal. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, we're going to invest in a little bit of survival. Okay, yeah, this leg hugger upgrade did very well. Nope, I'm going to continue with my current allocation. Okay, now there's another tower that I could go to if I really wanted. But I'm gonna go to the top here. So that'll give me higher damage. But then if I invest in survival, necromancy is going to work a lot better. We're just going to go all in on tactics, because I think that's going to give us our best chance. That's better. Whoa! Oh, I like those. I like these little friends. You're doing good things for me. The damage was insane. Okay, and they're full tactics as well, which is good. I don't know if I want to cross the threshold yet. Okay, that's a lot of cells. If we clear this stage, we get the backpack. Ooh, shit. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's fine. We're fine. I've got, like, no health, but we're fine. And I've got no potions. What's through here? Swords. Unfortunately, they're a little too big for me to be able to use them. That sensation again. Like I'm floating. As if everything was speeding up and slowing down at the same time. Well, it sort of makes you feel like puking. Hang on. So what is in that room? So nothing doing in there, so let's move on. It's a shop. Make our way all the way down. I wonder what their evolved form is like. Oh. Alright. I like it. I like it. Okay, ads are dropping in a minute, guys. I will be availing myself of my daily break. Blueprints. Cockatoos below. The clockmaker's key. Where do I? Ooh, there's food down there. Like the fat ass I am. Let's go grab the chicken. I did not see the chicken. I want the chicken. As much as I don't feel like it, I gotta go for a run. See you in 48 minutes. Bogu, thank you so much for being here. Could I get another shout out for Bogu? Great streamer. If you are into challenging runs of games like Gothic, Baldur's Gate, Diablo, and all those great games from yesteryear, please give Bogu a follow. Dev, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. I hope work has not been too crazy. I know everyone I've been talking to, it's been the same situation. Like it's so busy these days. Okay, so I don't want to finish yet. Oh boy. Okay. Golden amulet. We are definitely taking that. Okay. Woo! Hey. Oh god, everything hurts. And I have no heals, which is not ideal. Okay, I have to keep moving up. are still things up here that I need to find. So let's teleporter. Got a skill up. I've got no brutality weapons anymore, which sucks. I'll have to reinvest in tactics next time we turn in. I'm gonna deal so much more damage if I do this. A glass cannon, but I'll deal so much more damage. Oh my god! See? You see? Oh my god, that's so broken. Oh. Now I know why Rowan advised just raw tactics. God, that damage is so good. Okay, what do we have here? Not doing ice grenade. Okay, guys, it is an ad break. Ads are almost done, but I will take a little bit of a breather. I'm gonna leave you guys with the clips, and I will see you after my break is done. Again? Really? All right.
It's good, Sigma.
Can you sing? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to collect foreskin for Dagoth. Yeah, Vivek mole-egged his ball. So much so that it made history. They wrote a book about it. The entire sermon is a prolonged allegory about post-nut Claire. Now, excuse me while I enjoy my high tea. Tastes like aristocracy. Oh, no, I can't. I can't do it. Oh, wait. I love how that's how you're gay. What the fuck?
Suck on a glorious amount of all-American custard! Yeah, goddammit!
These fuck-ass Nords Nerevar, they're injecting the kids with skooma to change their natural Dunmer skin color. Are you telling me someone willingly slept with Amron? That motherfucker has been trying to find his rusty iron sword since the Second Era.
Last words, a guy with a beautiful voice. He makes me melt. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. You're really gonna struggle getting down the mountain otherwise. So we're gonna help you, okay? Okay, are you ready?
Ooh, they knocked the wind out of my balls.
Well, okay, it's not a level 3 unrelenting force, so... You wanna know the best part about the Hist? Their entire existence is a pun. They're arboreal appearing entities that exist outside of space-time. They see all the timeline, forward and backward. They're Hist trees. God damn it. You want more? You just saw your buddies get killed, man. He grabbed my arrow.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Dagoth's drawing? All right, I'm scared. I think I'm going to die, but we're going to see how this goes. All right, ran out of stamina and got kicked on the ground a whole bunch. I will burn this building down. I am underslept. I have 3 hours of sleep. No coffee. The fuck? This is a trust cannon chat. Ah, I believe I could fucking die! Oh no!
Bye, bud.
In that case, Melly, I'm sorry. No, Melly, why are you doing this? No!
with strength and fervor.
Melly!
His mane flowing in the wind. Cerberus climbs atop him. A new journey now begins. Yamate Cranberry, the greatest horse you'll ever see. Galloping with speed and might, now sing along with great delight. Yamate Cranberry, clippity, cloppity, clip. Yamate Cranberry leads us on this trip.
Oh, what have I done?
Like, ooh, yay! No. Oh, what the hell? We've slain all the werewolves in this area.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
No, no, no. God damn you. Join the werewolf centipede. They touch tips. They touch tips. You do not have a good friendship in Dwarven kingdoms unless you touch tips. It's a cultural thing. Oh shit, oh shit. That is called thinking you have the upper hand and not actually having the upper hand. Look, man, if you would just wear some socks.
I'm wearing socks right now. I have one sock on and one sock off.
Fishnets.
What's wrong with that? It's still a sock. Shut up. It still counts. It's still socks. Still socks.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度预计清酒比。
Big chillin'. Oh, is it still playing? It's not closing. One moment, everybody. One moment, everyone. Wait. Why is this not working? For some reason, the source is not stopping. Let's go... Why is this being weird? One moment. Okay, there we go. I do not know why. No, so I was setting up to do vertical streaming a little while ago, and I've just decided not to do it, but I still have the canvas set up. I just need to get rid of the canvas, and actually, I'm going to unlink the two. There. That should help. All right, back to the game. Yeah, I don't know, like, OBS is just weird about it. Oh. Oh my god! They have evolved. Okay, so we do have a sapphire amulet. I don't think I'm going to switch to that. Woo! Oh. As much damage as they deal, I still get hit. I seasoned it slightly. Sorry, Miss Books was just inquiring about dinner. She only just got home. Nothing really appealing there, honestly, which is a shame. Okay, is there anything I want to go back for? Does not look like it, which means we can go to the clock room. And we do have the evolved friendos. Okay, so we should be able to top up all of our potions, which is definitely needed. And then I think we can afford the backpack. So we can carry a spare weapon and hold the interact button to empty the backpack. What What else do I want to invest in? Refresh the stock supply at a very reasonable price. Special showroom. Unlocks a special shop in the prisoner's cells where you can find all sorts of rare and expensive oddities for only the most experienced and discerning shoppers. And then we've got blueprints. I don't know. And perhaps someone could backseat this. So, when I unlock a blueprint, obviously I get the weapon during this playthrough. However, do I also get that in subsequent playthroughs? Rolling leaves 3 crow's feet behind you. Skeleton outfit. Okay, so in that case, what I might do is I might invest in a few of these. So I can afford the infantry bow, and I can afford the... Ooh, the scavenged bombard would be nice too. Knocks back enemies. Afford the ice bow as well. I will take neither of those. Actually, I need to spend the rest of my gold. To recycling. Don't need to do any of these. I'm gonna reset my mutations. I'm going to get tranquility. Going to do support. Range skill, kills, reduce skills, cooldowns. Then I'm gonna stick with necromancy, I think. I'm gonna stick with that. Right, now. Okay, we're in the clock room. So, because I have support, this should synergize really, really nicely. Whoa! Okay. Woo! Oh my god, that went so well. That went so well. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna go down. I thought this fight would be much, much harder. The leg huggers are fantastic. That was so good. Ooh, okay, we have Electro Whip. Let's see. So this doesn't synergize. 50% damage when you are max HP. Shoots arrow in front of you. No, the one I have is way, way better. We do have a blueprint. Ooh. I'm gonna stick with the wolf trap. Do you also need 2 rings to reach the secrets of your clock room? No. Lucky you. We'll go to High Peak Castle. Whew. Let's see if we can get to the final boss. I very much doubt we can, but we'll see. Oh, I haven't spent them all? Thought I did. I didn't take any damage? That's interesting. What is your question, Neil? What is this? Passage to the High Peak Castle and the derelict distillery. Interesting. So is this... I think that, yeah, I think this is DLC. I think this is DLC, so I'm actually gonna backtrack. Because I just want to go to High Peak Castle right now. I really don't want to do anything else. And this is a bit of a shorter stream today, so I wanna make sure we're using time optimally. I remember as a child gaining access to Icewind Dale 2. Now, the thing is, I was a dumb child and didn't understand what the game wanted from me. What would you say to someone who's been exposed to, and there's text limits, so he's probably typing more. The Queen and the Sea DLC, gotcha. Okay. I asked a question a little bit above regarding the Witcher books. Was trying to satisfy my curiosity over here. Oh, you asked her, you asked it over here, okay. Scrolling back. Earlier, regarding the reading of the Witcher books, after Blood of Elves, are you gonna go back and do the Last Wish? I honestly might just start the Last Wish now. Like, send me the right order to read the books, because I don't want to read them in the wrong bloody order. So just let me know, or I'll look it up, whatever. But I want to read in the correct order. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna read it from here, because chat doesn't move there as much. I remember as a child gaining access to Icewind Dale 2. Now the thing is, I was a dumb child and didn't understand what the game wanted from me. What would you say to someone who has been exposed to the CRPG genre, but didn't quite get it? Or someone tentatively interested, but not quite enough to pull the trigger? So, I'm gonna leave this to Twitch chat as well. What would you say to that person? But here's my answer. Do not force yourself to experience things you do not want to experience. That is number one. If you are just not into it, then
is this how you honor the sixth house?
Don't think yourself deficient for not liking a kind of game. I am never going to like Call of Duty Warzone. I'm never gonna like that kind of game. That doesn't mean it's a bad game, but it's just not a game for me. So that would be number one. Buin, thank you so much for 9 months. So much. You're fantastic. Everybody, if you're not following the Buin, you are missing out on one of the cutest humans ever. Seriously, like such cozy vibes in that chat. And whenever I need to relax in like a profound way, like life is just kicking me when I'm down, I head over to Buin's. Buin is absolutely fantastic and one of the best humans I know. So do yourself a favor and follow the Buin. Now, with that said, back to the question from Neil in the YouTube chat. Do not force yourself to try and enjoy things that you're simply just not vibing with. But at the same time, give yourself a chance. And I'll refer to my playthrough of The Witcher. And Baldur's Gate for that matter. These are games that did not self-evidently make themselves or make their enjoyment to me apparent from the first couple minutes of gameplay. It took me some time with these games to really understand kind of what the game offers, for one. But also, you know, the fact that there were gameplay loops that are nuanced and not readily apparent for a new player, and I needed to spend some time with the game to really make that assessment for myself. Take your time. There's no rush. You know, you're not competing with anyone in a game like Icewind Dale. You're just trying to... I think the biggest thing that people get wrong when they're interacting with these older CRPGs is they're not understanding that the point of a CRPG like that isn't necessarily challenging gameplay. It's all about the narrative. It is about the story and the characters. Allowing yourself to meet all those characters, allowing yourself to consume that narrative. That is going to be one of the best things that you can do for yourself. But again, I'm curious as to what the rest of chat thinks as well. But that is what I would say is give yourself the time to enjoy a game like that. They're deep. They're really, really deep. It's going to take time. And that you're not necessarily going to have like insane, you know, challenging gameplay amidst that. Sometimes it can get a little meandering, but it's not because it's a bad game, it's just different. I feel like a lot of gamers are in a rush. You know, it's... The game needs to... The game needs to get to the point. It needs to show you the goods right away, you know? And not all the best things in life are like that. Sometimes a movie isn't good until the second act where the story kind of culminates and becomes incredible. Sometimes a song, you know, it doesn't vibe with you immediately, but it is a good song. It is a song that you will enjoy, given the time. So that's kind of what I advocate for with older games, is just give them time. And also, we're in 2026 now, and a lot of these games were made in the 90s. Like, the gameplay loops in these games are not... Like, you are not going to necessarily know what to do right away. Now, that bit was not necessarily for Neil specifically, because I know he plays a lot of older games, but that's for the rest of you guys. You know what I would love? I would love my food, my cheese, to refill my potions if it tops up my health. I would love for it to also refill my potions. Ooh. Nope. No, my synergy is too damn good. I actually looked it up last night and GOG had it for $10. I figured a second chance is worth that. I just worry it won't click with me again. I keep being reminded of my first time with Dark Souls. I got to Quelaag, got brick-walled and quit. Now I love the franchise. I'm just hoping this will turn out the same, but it's hard to say. You have to give it a chance. And here's the thing, it might be. It might be, but, and this goes for everyone in chat, if you don't gel with the game, you're not deficient. You know, you're not lesser because you don't enjoy a game that other people enjoy. You're just different. And that's fine. A great big room for a great big painting. The seal of the king is recognizable at the center. As for the rest... Lots of doors in here. Whoa, not good. Nothing to see up there. Whoa! Oh, that was not ideal. Oh, books. Come on, we might be able to get to the final boss. If I play my cards right, we might be able to get to the final boss. Okay, let's see. So, near as I can tell, we have red doors, greenish yellow doors, and blue doors. Now, I'm assuming the greenish yellow doors are regular story content, and then the blue doors and red door are DLC. That is what I'm inferring. But I don't know. Okay, let's get to... Let's get to a teleporter. Right there. So... I want to... regular, I think. Now, my question is, why are they giving me so many damn doors? I'm gonna assume this is... There's a strange taste of food since the old cook was offed. There's a strange taste to the food since the old cook was offed. The hand doesn't seem to mind, though, so I just hold my nose and dream of custard. The king's convinced of the existence of a plot against his life. While such a plot may have cause to exist, I've seen no evidence of it. Worse, the food hasn't been up to standard since he had the cook executed. Oh, they are stupid strong. Like, it's insane. Okay, we still have potions. Oh, they are strong.
There's another naked Nord. There's another one.
There's always naked Nords. Why is there always naked Nords? Okay, we have the key to the castle now. Oh, I see. Nice. All right. Well, I am a sleuth for some good exploration, so let's do it. Let's explore everything.
Macera.
I do have enough potions. Andronia, welcome in. It's good to see you at last. Pop potion. There we go. Is this gonna... This... Okay, it doesn't make purpose. Okay, nice. 2 keys to the castle. Okay, now... Okay, my minions tended to that issue. Now there is somewhere else to go. So I feel like I need to... Oh, was that it? Okay, that was it. Alright. Exploration has been sated. Okay, so that plopped us down there. So we've been through the red doors. Now I think it's time to go through the blue doors. Oh, okay, so like Twitch isn't working for you. Oh, not good. No. Negatory. No! Good God. Okay, pop my last potion. Oh, jeez, I'm so strong. I'm so damn strong. Oh, God, the electric whip is just amazing. Woo! Oh, that might just be my side, Neil. Honestly, that might just be my side. And as you well know, Twitch be twitchin'. Okay, that looks like everything. Okay, so we've got plenty of keys to the castle. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, now... I think that means... we can... head down here. I think that is the path to the boss fight. Yep, and then we... Oh... Okay, we gotta do that. There's traps everywhere in here. Ooh, that's not... That doesn't look good. Yeah, that doesn't look great. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna do a new wolf trap. Okay, so that takes us... Okay, is a blueprint worth it? I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it right now. We're too close. And I think I've got a really strong chance of being able to beat. You have a question? Sorry, one moment. What is your advice for you playing Resident Evil 4? Like, I need to know some things, since this is my first horror game after about 6 years. I don't want to be running around doing stupid things. Resident Evil 4 is a linear game. So, in terms of the story, there is really nothing wrong you can do. That is one of my favorite things about Resident Evil, actually, is there's kind of no wrong way to play the game. There's only, like, your way to play it. Now, if you're a speedrunner, obviously, there's going to be specific ways you have to play the game. But when it comes to what weapons you use, that's up to you. What aesthetic are you going for? Like, you can use the starting handgun for the entire game. You can use the first shotgun you get for the entire game. You can choose to not have a sniper rifle, although I wouldn't know why you would. So on and so forth. There's nothing wrong you can do. So just experiment. Enjoy the experience. This is kind of give you more. Okay, so then you optimize for that. But the choice is yours. The choice is ultimately yours, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right? I think I'm, like, completely fine with this. But, okay, you've actually touched on something that I think is incredibly important, and a lot of gamers do this. I think too many gamers do this. And that is fear of doing the wrong thing. Like, it's a video game, guys. Like, have fun. Whoa! Okay, hi. Oh, howdy doodly do. Whoa! Oh, I do not like this. Oh, the game is saying fuck you to me. Oh, God. Oh! Come on. Oh, come on! Ah! Damn! That was so close! Oh, that was so close! You hear the clamor of combat and call to glory. You should go back behind the underground door, not too far ahead. Well, the Resident Evil series is not in my alley of games, so I don't know if I can experiment with you. You can experiment with any game that you play. And I feel this profoundly. You can experiment with any game that you play. Alright. I doubt we're getting through another, doubt we're getting through another round, but I'm getting good. I'm getting good at this. The lightning whip is just so good. Come on. We might not be able to beat the game tonight, but we can get damn close. I was really thinking maybe we would be able to make it. Honestly, the bow feels really good. We're going to... just want to see if there's any... Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh, I see. So you run. Okay, we'll grab the gold amulet. Infantry bow. Swap that out. Okay, so I just need to give it time to replenish. Gotcha. What is this strange creature stuck to his face? He still spasms a bit, but it's as if he's still half alive. I better not linger. Staying too long could have unforeseen consequences. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, multiple Nox bow. Shoots 3 arrows at the same time. And it gives freezing. We are going to... We're gonna do 2 bows. We're gonna do that. Scroll of power. Gotta invest in tactics, baby. The damage, though. Yeah, I'm completely I'm in on tactics now. What a cozy spot. I could sit. Just for a moment. Oh. I think I slipped a little. Wait, that wasn't there before. The King's Scepter. You charge forward, hitting. Upon hitting a target, you bounce into the air, spinning. Bouncing on an enemy deals critical damage. It lets you charge again. I think I am not going to grab that. Okay, so we got that. Oh my god. Woof. Better take a potion so I don't die. Well, this is kind of like when I did that one stream of this game, I kind of did a tongue-in-cheek saying one Metroidvania to rule them all. And it's not because this is necessarily the best Metroidvania, it's that this is the one that seems to, like, culminate everything in the genre, which is, like, it makes it fitting that I'm playing it, I would say. Oh, a new arrival. And the rats haven't even got him yet. I bet there's still some good stuff to scavenge. Yeah, just some rusty old key. And a torn-up letter. Royal Gardener. With all respect that I owe, obey your orders, or you will find yourself in the stomach of one of the ticks. For all our sakes, this is your last warning. Signed, Commander Casti. Ugh, nothing of interest at all, except for the jacket. One Ring reference is very fitting. Like, this game does such a good job with references. That's been by far the thing I've been enjoying the most about it. The infantry bow is really good. What is... And we've got a scroll of power down here I gotta make my way to. So doors locked, eh? Okay, more tactics. Please and thank you. Okay, we go this way. Oh my god. Okay, that's Promenade of the Condemned. This is Emergent. Oh, it's got Nail. Nail is another weapon I really like. You'll be pleased to know in The Witcher 2, when you get to it, has an Assassin's Creed Easter egg and a Lord of the Rings one. Ooh. I do like a good Easter egg. The more health flasks, the better. Hold off on the wolf trap, I think. Do Tranquility. See you later, Jodre. Enjoy RE4, please. Like, I don't want it to sound like I'm disregarding your concerns about the game and your experience of it, but I really do think that a game should be experimented with. That's one of the joys of games, is you might have a completely different experience than I do, because you tried something that I never even thought to try. And I like, again, that's one of the beauties of the art form, is nuance. Luna, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. I'm gonna let the Dagoth Wave play while I collect some more filthy lucre. I am horribly addicted to this game. It is a roguelite, and roguelites are dangerous. They are very dangerous games. Ooh, playing retro. What?
How can you kill a god?
Are you
A grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you kill a god?
Oh dear.
On you, sweet Nerevar.
Your protection.
I'm a god. I'm a god.
What a grand and intoxicating innocence indeed. Raiders, welcome to the Game Library, where we give a voice to the voiceless games. My name is Martin. I'm a variety streamer with a channel that focuses on games history and the preservation of that history through experience. Luna, what were you up to? What were you playing in retro? Luna is a great streamer, everybody. If you're not following her, please do something about that. You are missing out. Luna plays a lot of very obscure games, a lot of horror games.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Liger Driver, thank you very much for the follow, and welcome officially to the Game Library, my friend. Yeah, I think that I play a lot of obscure games, and then I hang out in Luna's, and I realize that I do not play a lot of obscure games. I was playing a 1996 game directed by Robert De Niro. 9, The Last Resort. I had no idea that game even existed. But I will say,
a new hand touches the beacon.
It also had Share. Sunfire, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Game Library. I will say most people don't know about my beloved Siege of Avalon before I mention it as well. So I think that's just the nature of obscure games, is even when you're into obscure games, you're kind of just an eternal student. You're constantly going to be getting exposed to new things. And I think that's what I love about games preservation. I think that's what I love about this medium, is you're never done. You're always going to be experiencing something new. Like Dead Cells. I do not play a lot of Metroidvanias. I avoid roguelites because they addict me. Hades was problematic. So, playing Dead Cells has been problematic. I think about the game all the time. I'm constantly wanting to play the game. I'm trying not to play ahead because stream. It's a problem. But it's a new game. Like, it was a popular game. But the community said, hey, you haven't played a Metroidvania, why don't we try one? So I spun the wheel, and we got Dead Cells, which is, I kind of made a bit of a tongue-in-cheek reference of one Metroidvania to rule them all, because Dead Cells makes like an insane amount of references within the game to things like Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight. What was another one? What's another Metroid? Castlevania, of course. Exactly, and then figuring out how to run very old-ass games on modern OS. I've been Necro, one of my mods, he loves Alice, the Alice games, and I have Return to Madness for my Xbox 360, but I don't have the original game for PC. It is EA Origins based, but it's locked into abandonware. Like, there's no way to play the game, because EA just refuses to support it, which is the story for too many games. Too many games, and that's why I advocate for games preservation, because you should not lose an experience of an artistic piece simply because it aged. I think that's wrong. I think that's just wrong. So I've been looking into how to play games like Alice, and now I'm getting into the abandonware kind of section of games preservation. That I guess my intro to games preservation was kind of my thoughts. Well, first of all, nobody knew of some of my most beloved games. But second of all, I was seeing a lot of remakes and remasters, and I was saying, why? Like, we were talking earlier in the stream, Halo Campaign Evolved. Halo's getting remade. It's one of my favorite franchises. Sue me. I was playing it on the original Xbox to get some B-roll for some of my short-form content, and I was playing it on original hardware. I just couldn't believe how good it was. Like, it felt so modern still. And the idea that needs a remake it's just wrong, in my view. So then I start down another rabbit hole, which is, okay, why is this getting made? Saying just money, it's not good enough for me. There's something deeper there. And I think it's because Halo Studios just doesn't know how to make a good Halo game. So they're going back to Halo 1 to hopefully, in their mind, hopefully key into the source, the origin of Halo. But here's the problem. You're not writing your own story, you're just revisiting an old one, and they're adding content, which is revisionism, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, FPSs mechanically haven't changed terribly much. Yeah, exactly. And Halo especially is a very specific kind of experience within FPSs. Like the very pillowy feeling jumping and that sort of thing. Like, it's very Halo. And you know when you're playing a Halo game, which is why when Halo Infinite came out, I was not a fan of the Doom Eternal wrist grapple. It was like, okay, like, this isn't Halo anymore. You're just, like, it was a fine game. It was just a bad Halo game. Again, I think that's why they're revisiting. So, yeah, remakes. But now I'm getting down the abandonware kind of part of games preservation, and the amount of like piracy that is occurring. But I've been talking to a lot of people within my comment sections, and you know, it's like, is it piracy when a developer refuses to support something they've already released and you've already purchased? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what is the conversation? Because we're never going to get the developers to support these games. Like, there's just not enough skin in the game for the developer to really have a serious conversation about that. You'll get, like, crumbs, like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green that have been coming out recently, but for the most part, it's going to be up to the community. And that's where it gets, like, you know, piracy is kind of, you know, people kind of poo-poo it as like a moralist thing, but I think that as the community, we kind of have a moral obligation to preserve it, right? So it gets difficult, but with that said, we do have that piracy, yes. With that said, I am super sorry, you did just raid in. What's even worse is when something falls into abandonment and the rights holders actively yeah, Nintendo. Oh god. Whew, sorry, got something stuck in my throat. Do you feel cleansed, people? I always love when those shorts come up of that one scene from Transformers where the guy is hacking the Transformers algorithm and then a SWAT team shows up. Like, that is something that I feel in my soul. That is something I very much feel in my soul. But as I was trying to say, I'm very sorry to have to raid and run myself, but I have to be up at 3:30 tomorrow for work. So, unfortunately, our time in the game library is once again drawing to a close. Luna, thank you so much for bringing your community here. And again, guys, if you are not following Luna, if you're not following Bogu Bogu, if you're not following Eternal Arcade, all the amazing people that brought their communities to hang out here, do yourselves a favor. They are amazing friends of the channel.
The beacon.
Oakenfire, welcome to the game library. Thank you very much for the follow. Do yourselves a favor. Like, I do not tell you to follow anyone. I myself do not hang out in the stream. Like, I'm always lurking in Lunas. I'm always lurking in Bogus. I'm always lurking in Eternals. I'm not always the best chatter myself, but I'm always hanging out in their communities. And they are incredible people and incredible streamers. But with that said, if any of you have resonated with the content, if any of you guys would like to continue the conversations, head over to the Beacons page. That will give you all the links to all the socials and all the supports pages and all the stuff and things. Dragon has also posted a link to the Discord. If you would like to continue the conversations, that is where to do it. I hang out in the Discord all of the time. We do polls, we have conversations, and I'm still trying to work out timing for community activities like playing some defunct online games like Sanctum 2 that doesn't really get played too much. Unreal has come back. Unreal Tournament has come back. Quake 3. Stuff. Things. Yes, indeed. But with that said, my friends on YouTube, because yes, I do stream on YouTube as well, thank you for tuning in. I am trying to get YouTube partner right now, and you guys contributing to the stream on the red side is a massive, massive help. So thank you very much. But I'm taking our friends on Twitch out on a raid. Oh, ads hit. Pesky ads. All right. We will get the raid going then. So let's see who is on. And I'm just going to quit Dead Cells here. I'm just going to quit Dead Cells. Okay, there we go. All right. So which one of the friends is on right now? Because we do have a lot. We do have a lot of raid love to share. So let's see. Oh, we do have Spiff. Okay, so we do have Dango Rangus. Holy Diver. Holy Diver's a video game? Alright. You do have my curiosity. So he's been up for a few hours. We do have Squish playing Pacific Drive. I thought it might be based off the Dio song. You never know. Old games, you never know. Alright, guys, our options are Dango Rangus with Holy Diver from... Oh, it's on the NES, and Dango plays on original hardware as well, which is awesome. Or we have Squish, who is playing Pacific Drive. So it's up to you. What would you guys like to see? Would you like to see some Pacific Drive, or would you like to see an obscure game for the NES? We have rated both rather recently, so I can't do my normal cop-out of we haven't rated them in a while, or we've rated them super recently. Oh, fine. Alright, you get to hang out. Oh, help me make decisions. Help me make decisions. Let's see. You know what? Let's raid into Squish theme. Pacific Drive is a new game for them, and I know that our good friend Necrovarius does very much love some Pacific Drive. So, the raid has been started. My friends, first message is for those of you who have subscribed and have access to all the community emotes. Second message is for those of you who have followed or just joined the community and would just like to hang out. I'm going to copy my raid message like a goddamn professional. Are you booping the mic? Are you? How dare you? Hey, you just come in here and all of a sudden you own the stream. Hey, you own the stream. All right, my friends, I will be back again tomorrow to continue more of The Witcher 1, the Enhanced Edition. But until then, I ask that you be well, and I will see you on the next one.
Don't start. Dr. K and I
Can't go that way.
uncovered some new way of using Lim to motivate that gamma ray burst.
Yes, precisely. Where do gamma rays come from? But outer space.
Feedback on planet Earth, kid. There are plenty of terrestrial sources of gamma rays. Thunderstorms, for example.
No, yeah. You said it yourself.
Woo!
The energy levels from
We did it.
are much greater than anything we've seen on Earth.
Sure, but going straight to aliens for this camp.
Hang on. Sorry, the ads are gonna start. I thought we could get to the next one. We can't. Go stretch, go pee. Go snack, get a beverage. Unshrimp just a little bit for 3 minutes.